Hello everyone, welcome to ShailajaIAS and welcome to the PYQ Decoder class. This is Subash. Today we are coming up with another very important subject, which is geography. So in the previous classes we have started with polity, then we did economy, then we finished history. So in this class we'll be taking up geography. As I told you earlier classes also, geography is one of the core subjects out of the 4 subjects in the UPSC. So, geography will be taking up, we'll be seeing the trends. In this class, what we'll be doing is we'll be going through breaking down the micro topics through syllabus, and we'll be seeing the PYQ trend analysis of the last 10 years and the important themes and how the questions have been changed in the last 8 to 10 years and what is the weightage of this subject, geography. So as I told you in the earlier classes, it is one of the core subjects of the important 4 subjects. So here you can expect anywhere from 15 to 18 questions. So in geography you can expect anywhere between 15 to 18 questions. In the before last 3 years, during 2020, 21, 22, questions were coming only around 5 to 6 questions from core geography, and many of them were application geography or mapping, linked to international relations, historical mapping, right? Historical geography. However, geography is one of the important subject in mains. Okay, almost 120 marks in your GS1 paper is coming in geography. So around 100 to 120 marks will come in geography. So that syllabus of geography in the mains plays very important role in UPSC Prelims, as well as the syllabus given in UPSC Prelims. It covers all physical geography, human geography, okay, and the Indian geography as well. It covers all the aspects of geography, the physical part, the human geography part, okay, and the Indian geography part it will cover. However, the weightage now in the last 3-4 years has increased, okay, around 6 to 8 questions to 15 to 18 questions. Around 15 to 18 questions, 10 plus questions are application based and analytical based question. Another 6 to 8 questions are coming from word geography, mapping with respect to international relations, okay, places in use, resources, Indian as well as world resources. 6 to 8 questions are coming from this. Earlier, okay, last 3-4 years, if you had studied 11th and 12th NCERTs of geography, that would have sufficed because direct questions would have come in the geography. However, in the last 2-3 years, the questions are evolving, the complexity of the questions are evolving. Yes, 11th and 12th NCERTs for the geography forms the base. However, if you have to get, okay, maximum questions right in the maximum questions right of the 15 to 18 questions that have been asked, then you need to have analytical bent of mind. With geography which you study in NCERT, you should be able to link it with, okay, physical geography, with human geography topics, with Indian geography, and link it with the current affairs with respect to geography that is coming in news. You should not only know the subject, but you should also be able to apply. UPSC asks what? Application based questions, and how you have understood the concepts and how you are able to apply those concepts in the application and analytical questions. Okay, just reading NCERTs is not enough and thinking that, okay, 7 to 8 questions only will come in geography, rest all will be current affairs. If you forget the static portion, okay, the theoretical portion also will not be able to doing good. And if you're able to see how the questions are evolved through our PYQ decoder course, you will be better placed, okay, and you'll be able to get good score in the geography. So we'll see in the next slide. So complete syllabus and theme breakdown in this class we will see. In the next coming class, we'll break down the macro themes of the syllabus units and where are the micro points or micro topics questions have been come from. Likewise from the last subjects what we did, geography also will break down subject into smaller units and smaller topics, micro themes through that macro themes. In the macro themes we'll see the micro units where questions have been asked and what kind of questions have been asked also we'll see. So this is the basic syllabus where questions have been come from. Okay, syllabus is vast geography, but 90% of the questions from the last 5 years have come from this syllabus topics. So physical geography, okay, almost if you see 40% weightage to this, around 30% to social and human geography and 30% to economic world geography. All right, this include Indian geography as well as world geography. So in physical geography, the origin, okay, and evolution of earth, universe becomes important, and geomorphology, okay, physical geography mein geomorphology, the building up process and the agents of erosion. Every year 2 to 3 questions are coming from geomorphology. Then you have climatology, okay, then you have oceanography. These 3 topics, okay, these 3 units will give you 40% of the question. 5-6 questions will come from these 3 units. Okay, focus on Earth's internal processes, external processes where theoretical geography is there, right? Theoretical geography, the plate movement, okay, the ocean relief, and what are the different hypotheses. All these are present in theoretical geography, in physical geography. That if you have studied, okay, your core concepts will be clear. Okay, you have to study about Earth. You have to study about the rock cycle, you have to study about the volcanoes and its type, you have to study about the earthquake, okay, and its types, the theory with respect to earth crust, okay, the ocean relief, and what are the different theories. That if you have studied, okay, majority of the questions are revolving around that in the physical geography. Next you have social and human geography. This is linked with society, population, demography, okay, and the globalization aspect, PDG, and the globalization aspect. This becomes very important in the current affairs today's, okay, where you have Iran war and that has effect on India's diaspora, not only migration outside the country, but migration within India, right? The internal migration is also happening. So this becomes important. And census will be going on, polity linked with geography, okay? Census, economy linked with geography, and what all different new economies of work depending on the geographical locations also becomes important. So demography, migration patterns, human environment interactions, okay? In 2025, one wet bulb question was asked. It was linked with the environmental and ecological effects and human survival itself. So he is linking, okay, physical geography, the concepts of physical geography, climatology with human geography, with environmental geography. So you need to be able to apply what you have studied of 11th and 12th NCERTs. For that, you need to have solved UPSC PYQs, you need to have understood the concept with clarity, then only you will be able to answer those questions. Next is economic geography. This is where most of the world geography, right? World resources plus economic wise places in use. Okay, economic mapping also. For example, now oil is a very important commodity, right? All the choke points can be one potential questions due to US-Iran war. Okay, just I gave you an example. All the natural resources, agricultural route, critical minerals. For example, cobalt, lithium, nickel. Last 3 years, every year one question has been come with respect to critical minerals, right? Then with respect to new technologies, chip manufacturing, all these are critical areas where you should link your geography knowledge with the current affairs. Then you will be having all grip on all the 16 to 18 questions that might come in the 2026 prelims, my friends. Only then, if you have mastered these three units, three important divisions in geography, you will be able to get 18 questions right. At least 90 to 95%, 16 out of 18 questions right. So 40% here, 30% here, and 30% is the weightage that has been asked with respect to the syllabus of the geography. Now we'll see the last 10-year trend to know why geography is very important and why minimum 50 plus questions will show up in 2026. See, in 2015, there were 11 questions. 11 questions. Then 2016, 7, 17, 9, 18, 10, 19, it spiked a bit, 14. Then 2020, 10, 21, 10, 22, 12, okay, till 21. It was hovering around 8 to 10 question, including some of the mapping question in geography, which are linked with, as I told you in the other units, world geography, international relations, social and human geography. And core geography topics were 6 to 7 questions. So weightage was not that much in the prelims. However, you see a trend from 22 where 12 questions were asked here in 22. Then 23, 16 questions were asked. 24, 18 questions were asked. And 25, 14 plus, around 16 questions actually were asked, including application geography questions asked in 2025. So anywhere between 16 to 18 questions you will get. Minimum is 15. Maximum you can get up to 20 questions in geography also. So 20% of your paper will come from this, and more than 60 questions, okay, nearly 70 questions will come from the static subjects, which is history, geography, polity and economy. Okay, economy might be current plus static, but still questions, if you have studied static, you will be able to answer from the 4 subjects, 4 core subjects, you will be able to answer around 70 questions, I guarantee you that, my friends. I was able to clear UPSC Prelims in 23, 24, 25 because of geography and because of the core subjects. Not only it's easy because you have just 4 NCERTs, but you should be able to master those concepts and apply in the examination all, okay? Just not theoretical fill in the blanks questions will be asked in geography. Complex questions are coming. The statement based questions are evolving. So you should be able to understand the concepts. You should be able to apply it. Cause effect relationship should be known in geography. That becomes very important, my friends. So 2015, 14 plus, actually 16 questions were focused heavily on world geography, map based questions and conceptual physical geography. Okay. They won't say who gave nebular hypothesis, okay, who gave zigzag or seesaw movement. They won't, okay, ask you those kind of questions. Based on that, they will try to extrapolate with respect to other geographical topics or with respect to current affairs topics of geography in news. So you should be prepared for that. For that, UPSC PYQs are the single most important source. Last 6 years ka will decode every important theme wise and the important questions that have been come from those themes. Okay. So we'll see now, okay, how vertically in the timeline the question types have varied, the question's difficulty or complexity as how it has evolved. If you see in 2015 to 19, direct questions were coming, my friends. Direct MCQs, okay, direct fill in the blanks or match, okay, match the following listing were there. Elimination also was there, very high. You would be able to just get all the questions right just by focusing on NCERTs, and if you have rotated or just by-hearted also you would have got, because direct questions, no application or analytical based question. However, 2020-22 was a watershed moment, and 23 rightly proved UPSC is shifting from this approach to analytical approach. Multi-statement, like statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Pair-based questions started evolving in 2022, which got established heavily in 2023. Okay, elimination was difficult and viability was moderate, and applied concepts like ocean mean temperature, solar flares. Okay, what causes solar flares? You should be able to apply your knowledge in this year's 2022. That application based, analytical based became heavy in last 3 years, in 23, 24, 25. Statement like 3 statements given, and to prove whether those statement 2 and statement 3 are correct with themselves or whether they are explaining the statement 1. For that you need to have conceptual clarity, presence of mind and learning. That learning will be happening where? Through UPSC PYQs. And how many pairs? Okay, 3 statement based questions and pair based questions have become common, my friends. And elimination low to 0. No elimination method will work here. Now you have to develop conceptual clarity. Through PYQs, you should understand which are the topics you have to focus on, where those 80% of the questions are coming from, 20 to 30% of the syllabus units, how you need to logically decode the paper, how you still can get to the answer even though you will not be able to get all the statements right, or you will not have knowledge of all the statements. You should be able to get the answer, get the solution. For that, PYQ, okay, syllabus, properly decoding syllabus, understanding which are the focused micro themes UPSC is asking and revising those concepts thoroughly, understanding the concepts and applying it in the examination hall. So requires absolute knowledge and to able to apply in the UPSC with the questions that has been framed by the examiner. Okay. So what are the pitfalls we have seen in the last 6 years with respect to geography? Keep in mind, first always go with the knowledge, okay, then logical sense that makes in the examination hall, then only you look for the traps where UPSC is setting in the last 6 years. Okay, it is repeating the similar kind of traps in geography every year in one way or the other. So to keep in mind these traps. The first one is the entire, okay, all inclusive. For example, minerals like monazite rarely occur on the entire coastline. This mineral will occur in the entire coastline of India. This mineral will occur in complete region of Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh. When it gives all encompassing, okay, statement, then probability of it being wrong is high. If you have knowledge, go with the knowledge. If you have don't, then you can look into this. Next, native versus introduced. Okay, this is historical geography. Okay, history linked with geography. Which are the native crops and which are the introduced crops. For example, palm oil is native to India. Is it true? No, wrong. Moringa, is it native to India? Again, not true, wrong. These two statements had come in the UPSC, and some of the crops which are not native to India, however, it has thrown like a fact that this crop is native to India. That kind of statements will be generally wrong unless you know which are the crops that are native to India. If new crops have come, then you can err on the side of the caution that the question might be wrong. Okay, the statement might be wrong. Like cashew, papaya, all these were brought by Portuguese, and palm oil, some of those came from Africa. So this you know, native versus introduced. Next, casuality flip. Just like in polity economy, two concepts are used to flip in that same example. For example, in 23, with respect to what high clouds and low clouds will do, which will reflect the sun rays and which will absorb the sun rays. There was a flipped happening. Okay. What high clouds will do, it was flipped to low clouds definition, and low clouds definition was flipped to high cloud definition. If you have clarity, if you know the concepts properly with respect to atmospheric geography, okay, climatology, then you will make it right. With respect to heat budget, you have to have the clarity. With respect to radiation, with respect to, okay, atmosphere layers, all these physical geography concepts, no theoretical concepts, you need to have proper conceptual understanding. Then all this application and casuality flip based question will become very easy. In science also, you will do the same flipping with respect to, for example, in science and tech, with respect to missiles. Okay. Intercontinental ballistic missiles versus other missile, he has twisted in the 23 or 24 paper. Same thing you will do in the geography also, flipping. Next, you have quantity swap. Okay, if he has given quantity and the numbers, normally you would have swapped it in the statements. For example, arable land area versus productivity. This was with respect to India versus China. How much arable land is there with India and with China? Is our productivity high or low? That flip-flop of the statement had been given in the, okay, question, UPSC previous year question. That we will see when we discuss in the upcoming classes with questions how this all traps have been set in the paper, and time and again some of the traps are repeated by UPSC. Then botanical nuisance. For example, which are evergreen trees, which are deciduous trees. For example, jackfruit was given as deciduous tree, but it was evergreen tree. Take maua, it's a deciduous versus jackfruit as a evergreen tree given in 2023 paper. Okay, the taxonomy also is tested here. See, when you are reading geography environment, you need to understand that this is not only for civil service, it is also for Indian Forest Service paper. So, emphasis will be on silvicultural trees. Okay, silviculture is study of forest, study of trees that are grown for the use of timber. So, Indian Forest Service, those topics also like environment, agriculture, forestry, okay, geography, in that link to geography, link to forestry, agriculture questions will show up every year. 2 to 3 questions will show up. So make sure you cover those areas also where you can get 6 to 8 marks more in prelims simply because you are prepared for that. Especially for Indian Forest Service, aspirants who are preparing for Indian Forest Service, you have to thoroughly prepare with respect to geography environment in those areas. Okay. Link to forestry, link to silviculture. Okay, questions will arise every year. Then geopolitical overplay. Normally mapping. He'll give the places which are in news. Okay, geographical places linked to war, linked to fight, linked to, okay, terrorist activities, linked to some civil disobedience. Okay, civil war kind of things. So all these are traps set by UPSC, the pitfalls. So you can realize once you go through PYQs how you are setting time and again, and you will be able to get the answer. That is the answer just simply because you have gone through PYQs through the options and you have understood the examiner mindset. Go with the knowledge and understand when you do these PYQs, these are the traps set by UPSC and repeated every year with these traps. Okay. Traps are there, but it is not an elimination method. You should be able to logically deduce those statements and come to the answer by going through UPSC, understanding the language, and then knowing that, okay, these are the traps set by the examiner and these options will be eliminated and you will be able to get the final answer. So, what core takeaways from the entire 3 slides which you have seen is horizontal integration. Okay, connect physical geography with Indian geography with human and world geography, resource mapping, international relations, if war is going on, fight is going on, okay, some distress is happening with respect to resource, with respect to economical distress, okay. Now, heat wave is going on across India, right? Some of the heat spot where it has affected the humanity. Those kind of questions, human geography will be dealing with, and those kind of questions linked to mapping will come in the examination also. Then reverse mapping. Okay, start from the question. For example, Red Sea question came. Afghanistan border question came. Ukraine border question came. Based on that, you cannot judge what direct question will come, but you will be able to know which are the themes, how UPSC sets the question, and you will be able to get those 1-2 question right in the paper. Then data verification. Always verify India's rank, okay, with respect to data in the agriculture, in the resources, okay. For example, mineral production with respect to agricultural crop production, and with respect to energy production, its commitments, all these are energy, okay, linked with geography. International relations linked with geography. Always study application based and interlink the subjects while studying, my friends. That will help you to score 4-5 questions, okay, make right, and you'll be able to get 10 plus marks from simply doing these things. So, official syllabus and application based, analytical based linked with other subjects, you will be able to get the prelims marks plus 10 marks simply because you are connected the subjects and you are applied whatever you have studied. So, I hope this strategy and syllabus decoding session has been helpful. You connect, okay, geography remains the most consistent pillar in UPSC. Mastery lies in analytical decoding of the concept you have studied and factual knowledge applying with interlinking the subjects. Then only you will be able to do mapping. You need to know how elimination works, what are the traps kept, okay. Without that, if you blindly think elimination techniques works or you will be able to get marks, that will not be possible just by studying and just by blindly applying tricks and techniques. You need to have the knowledge, you need to have analytical sense, you need to know how to interlink. That all comes through UPSC PYQs. It may sound that you have to do so many things, but you have to do only 2-3 important things in the focused areas in a very less time where it will fetch you good marks. For that, you go through the next 6 classes of geography and where we'll properly map all the important themes in the next 6 classes of geography, and you can focus on those 6 important themes where 90% of the UPSC questions comes. So I hope this class has been helpful. For more, subscribe to the channel ShailajaIAS, bookmark this PYQ and share among your friends. Until then, I'll see you in the next class. Take care.